Welcome to DJ Donzy GH YouTube channel. I'm Bella, and today we are studying about the Akan history. Please, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. On the basis of language and culture, historical geographers and cultural anthropologists classify the indigenous people of Ghana into 5 major groups. These are the Akan, the Ewe, the Moli Dagwani, the Guan, and the Ga Adangbe. The Akan group. The Akan people occupy practically the whole of Ghana's south and west of the Black Volta. Historical accounts suggest that Akan groups migrated from the north to occupy the forest and coastal areas of the south as early as the 19th century. Some of the Akans ended up in the eastern section where they created a Bole community. When Europeans arrived at the coast of the 15th century, the Akans were established there. The typical political unit was the small state under the headship of an elder from one of the 7 or 8 clans, see glossary, that composed Akan society. From these units emerged several powerful states, of which the oldest is thought to be Bono, also called the Bong. As a result of military conquest and partial assimilation of weaker groups, well-known political entities such as Akwemu, Asante, also seen as Ashanti, Achim, Dentra, and Fanti emerged before the close of the 17th century. Asante, for example, continued to expand throughout the 18th century and survived as an imperial power until the end of the 19th century, when it succumbed to British rule. The coastal Akan Fanti were the first to have relations with Europeans. As a result of long association, these groups absorbed aspects of British culture and language. For example, it became customary among these people to accept British names as family names. The primary form of Akan social organization is the family or the ebusu, the basic unit in a society based on matriclans. Through the exogamous matriclan system, local identity and individual status, inheritance, successions to wealth and to political offices, and even basic relations within the village community are determined. Every lineage is a corporate group with its own identity, group solidarity, exclusive property, and symbols. The ownership of a symbolic carved chair or stool, usually named after the female founder of matriclan, became the means through which individuals trace their ancestries. These lineages have segmented into branches, each led by an elder, headman, or chief. But a branch, although it possesses a stool, is not an autonomous political or social unit. Possession of the ritually important stool is seen as a vital, not only to the existence of the ebusu, but to the group as a whole. Despite the matrilineal focus of Akan societies, some traditional leadership positions are held by men. Male succession to inherited positions is, however, determined by relationship to mothers and sisters. Consequently, a man's valuable property is passed on not to his children, but to his brother or sister's son. A man may also be expected to support the children of a maternal relative, whether deceased or alive, an expectation that may conflict with the interest of his own children. Matrilineal succession is to property has been the cause of much litigation. There have been instances of wives and children turning to the courts for redress. In 1986, the government passed a number of laws that sought to bring the traditions of inheritance in line with changes that had occurred in the country. These laws, which included the intestate succession law, the customary marriage and divorce Registration Law, the Administration of Estate Amendment Law, and the Head of Family Accountability Law, recognized under the nuclear family as the prime economic unit. Provision was made, however, for the identification of collective properties that belonged to the extended family. Notwithstanding the 1986 legislation, the matriculant system of the Akan continued to be economically and politically important. Each lineage controlled the land farmed by its members, functioned as a religious unit in the veneration of its ancestors, supervised marriages and settled internal disputes among its members. It was from the lineages and the associations that cultivated that the village, town, and even the state emerged. The Akan state therefore comprehended several kin-based units, one of which, usually the most prominent lineage, provided the paramount chief who exercised at least some authority over incorporated groups. Every one of these incorporated groups, lineages or territorial units, had some autonomy under its own headman, chief or elders. In any case, all chiefs were subject to removal from office if they acted in any manner that alienated a substantial number of people, especially influential ones. The relative homogeneity of Akan cultures, languages, and authority structures had led not to political unity. The most important conflicts of Akan in pre-colonial and colonial times, for example, were with other Akan groups. This is understandable if the state is seen as the arena of political life and as a set of institutions concerned with power, especially for internal regulations and for the defense of its component members. The development of the Asante Empire, for example, was largely at the expense of the independence of the surrounding Akan, who were quick to assert their autonomy, especially after 1896, when Asante was defeated and its king, the Asante king of Ashanti, was exiled to the Sea Hills by the British. In the struggle for independence and in the period since then, political alignments have followed local interest rather than any conception of Akan ethnic unity. Data as of November 1994.